Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Cancer in the month of June 2019. What's going on, Cancer? How you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. All right, guys, we made it to June. What's up? What's up? Halfway mark through 2019. Time just presses on. Yeah, no control over it whatsoever. Anyway. Right off the bat, guys, happy birthday to you early Cancers who will be celebrating at the end of this month. I hope you guys have a lovely day, a lovely time celebrating yourselves. Hope you're surrounded by people that you know and love and that know and love you back, and it's a wonderful, fabulous time, okay? And if you're having cake, please have a slice for me. And if you're having cake and ice cream, invite me over because it's like my favorite dessert. Anyway. Cancer, I've shuffled off camera to save time, so that's your main spread there. What I will do now is shuffle on camera for your outcome and your overall energy. Once all the cards are out and they're lying face up on the table, that is when the reading begins. You can look in the description box below for a timestamp if you want to jump ahead. It's what it's there for. I totally don't mind. Go to town. Also down there, Cancer, you will see the new information on how to get a personal reading with me. The process is the same. It's still an email exchange between you and I, but there are now 2 additional readings on top of, well, not on top of, but in addition to what I was previously offering. So you can go down there, check out the different things that I've offered to you guys. You can let me know in an email what you want. And there is a 24 to 72 hour turnaround period for all readings. And anything else as far as if it's not clear or if you want to clarify something, you can also email me before you place an order. That's totally okay, all right? Anything else? Oh, yes, of course. I want to give a shout out to one of my subscribers and my clients, Vanessa. She made me this lovely little friendship bracelet with all these wonderful colors. Like, I normally would, I don't wear anything this vibrant. As you can see, this hoodie is black and white, you know, so I'm a very, you know, almost emo-ish type person. Not really. I'm just not much for vibrant colors, so I think it's really neat. It's definitely adding to, I don't know, it's like really lifted my spirits in a way, just having it on my arm. So I want to thank Vanessa for making that for me and sending it to me. I really do appreciate it, okay? All right, guys, Cancer, let's go ahead and get you an outcome for June 2019, all right? Let's get it. Oh, there it goes. Nice and easy. Bottom of the deck will be the overall energy. And that goes right there. Ba-dow. Only one card came face down, so let's go ahead and flip that now and see what's shaking. All right. And how are we looking on camera? Oh, hey there. Finger. Don't you go knocking things around. Okay, how do we look on camera? Pretty dang good. All right, guys, let's get started here. Please show me Cancer in June 2019. Please show me where Cancer is in June 2019. Please show me. Okay, thank you. Ooh. Okay. That was a little sharp, but I will allow it. I was telling, I think it was Taurus or Gemini yesterday when I did their reading. My guides like gave me like a poke in the third eye, and it really jacked me up for like 10 seconds. Similar today, but not as disorienting. Anyway, has nothing to do with you, Cancer. I'm just sharing what my experience is as your reader. Anyway, guys, coming into June, you come in with the Strength card in reverse. So, Major Arcana card for Leo. So you might be dealing with a Leo, but you don't have to be. But let me go ahead and show you that card upright so you can get a better perspective on it, a better look at it. And this is like such an abstract view of the Strength card. If you're familiar with the tarot, you might know the traditional artwork or what usually is put on a Strength card, a lion and a person or some type of wild animal and a person and something that needs to be tamed. This is the zombie deck. Zombie tarot deck is the technical name of it. And in the reverse, I mean, the feeling would be the same, Cancer, whether we're looking at a lion or a bullet superimposed on top of the brain. you're lacking the courage, you know? You're lacking the fortitude or the follow through or the fight, the willingness to fight, the willingness to carry on with something despite the adversity or despite how difficult it is. You're not in a mustering your inner strength mindset or attitude, or you've tapped that keg, man. You may have exhausted yourself and now you're to the point of saying, you know what, let me just forget about it. Let me just put this down. I can't continue to fight this fight anymore. So I'm feeling it can go either way. Either you had nothing in the stores at all, you had nothing, no fight to give in the first place, or you've been fighting so long, you've been consistently pushing and pushing and pushing and meeting adversity head on that now you're just like, you know what, I've been doing this forever. I've been banging my head against this wall. I've been, you know, conquering every problem that is thrown at me, and I've just had enough. Either way, whether you've been you know, no fight from the beginning, or the fight has been taken out of you. Gosh, that's tough. That's really tough, because in this particular deck, and I was like cautious to use this deck, or not cautious, but I was just like, I found it curious that I was guided to use this deck this month, but I think the stakes are pretty high in a lot of people's lives, and this is just a sort of an aside here, but 3 previous readings have all been heavy in their own right, and I feel that yours will be too. And this zombie tarot, although it's very novel, it's very kitschy, or you know, very niche, the undertone of it is life and death. You know, if there really was a zombie apocalypse, if you can imagine for just a moment, Cancer, that's a life or death situation. Am I going to fall prey or lose my life in this strange, you know, set of circumstances, or am I going to fight on and make it out of my city, make it out of my town, find safe haven, you know? And it's not so weird to think about, because you have shows like The Walking Dead, where that's literally the way people live day in, day out. They fight for their lives. And so that is not lost here. And so maybe that is going on for some of you. Maybe you have a health issue, or maybe you are mentally exhausted, physically exhausted, and so you feel, some of you might feel like you want to give up. Okay, now this, I am not necessarily equipped to talk fully about this, but I know it's a sensitive situation. If some of you are like in a very deep emotional despair or mental despair or some type of loss, or wanting to give up, okay, I think you understand what I'm talking about. I would implore you to seek help for that. I would implore you to talk to someone. I would implore you to find something worth fighting about. I don't necessarily think that is the answer to, no, I just don't feel that. But oh man, like that's something that someone is really considering, and I don't think you should do that, okay? And now that the imagery of this card, okay, it's all kind of coming into a vision here, and I'm not a fan of this. I don't want you to do that, okay? If I'm the voice of reason, if you're, you know, if I'm tapping into something that you haven't spoken to anybody else, I want to deter you straight up. Do not do it, okay? Don't do it, all right? Shake that off, because obviously it's a general reading, and that doesn't apply to everyone, but there is a chance that someone needs to hear that, okay? Now, excuse me. Going back, kind of coming away from that for a little bit, it does feel like the general mood for most Cancers that I'm going to be connecting with today are at the, that's not the way I want to say that, but it's crunch time, yeah? And going back again to shows like The Walking Dead, and that is the reality that those people live in, where, you know, just leaving their leaving their base is cause for, you know, this might be the last time that I see someone. So there is like this very strong stakes that I feel you are harboring inside of yourself, Cancer. You feel the stakes are so high in whatever way that applies to your life. And like I said, a lot of you are just tired because you have put up a good fight and you have been persistent and you have tried to muster your strength and muster your spirit and courage to keep going forward with something. But I think a lot of you kind of want to throw the towel in and quit this thing. Now, that can mean quit a job. That can mean quit a relationship. That can mean quitting a personal goal that you've set for yourself. Maybe some of you have had a goal in your health as far as losing weight or getting onto a good diet, a good eating program. Others of you have wanted to quit social media or quit smoking, whatever, you know, changes in your behavior and things that impact your health, okay? And it's tough because the reason it's tough and the reason I'm here for so long talking about this card is this is a major arcana. Major arcanas, aka trumps in the tarot deck, have a significant amount of weight behind them. They're usually sort of quote unquote overseen or kind of derived from the energies around us. Now, if you want to, or the entities around us. So if you want to think of that as God or angels or spirits or your higher self, your intuition, whatever, it's beyond the 3D physical world. So there's just an extra emphasis here that beyond your own logic or rationale, you feel compelled to stop fighting or to give up your goals or to say something is not obtainable, I can't do it anymore, or I can't succeed in the way that I want to succeed. Very downtrodden, very, very, very defeatist attitude right here, okay? Tough, very tough, super, super difficult. And again, being that you are, not again, but I see what surrounds you, okay? And I know what this is going to lead to. You're a water sign. Some might say you are the wateriest of the water signs. It's arguable. It's debatable. You know, I'm not a water sign, so I'm not here to, you know, pro or con this whole thing. But Cancer, you do have that tendency to take things into yourself, hold them there. All water signs do, but you really do. Your archetype, of course, is the crab. And what do we know about crabs? They live inside of a shell. You know, they have the ability, not the ability, but they are designed, their softest part is protected by this hard exterior that protects them. And a lot of times we don't know, well, not a lot of times, because biologists do know, but to carry over the analogy, one second, I need a drink of water here. But to carry over the analogy of having that hard exterior and the soft part of the crab is inside, whatever your vulnerabilities are, whatever you're feeling insecure about, whatever you're being very sensitive to, or that you're feeling very emotional about, you have put up walls around yourself, or and those walls are beginning to chip. Those walls are beginning to crumble, and that's an issue for you because you don't want to be super vulnerable right now. That's clear. Yes, that is clear. This Knight of Cups in reverse. Thank you. All right, I'll show you this upright. Water sign energy, so Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, you're in your own element here. You know, when the Knight of Cups is upright, which again is not what you have, he's out exploring, he's out journeying, he's out making love offers, he's out making social contacts, he's being sociable with people, he's enjoying life, and he's enjoying himself. When he's in the reverse, he becomes introverted, he becomes sort of a hermit. And not a hermit as in like you become Boo Radley and you board yourself up in your home all day. No, but emotionally, you become closed off to people. You're no longer available. You're no longer putting, I don't want to say your best self, but you're just not as open as you normally would be. You know, you're not as hopeful or optimistic about things. Very, you know, the Knight of Cups in reverse can be very self-absorbed and pessimistic, you know, and self-absorbed, not in an egotistical way, but self-absorbed as in literally I'm absorbed into myself. That whole going inside the shell of the crab. Again, I am absorbed in my own world. I'm not letting anybody out, or excuse me, I'm not letting anybody in, and I'm not stepping outside of my shell. So, And when you get like this, Cancer, it's a defense mechanism. When you turn that side of yourself to the front, that protective side, that shell first, crab pinchers first, pinch first, ask questions later, that is all defense mechanism. Again, because you've exhausted yourself with the strength card, or you haven't had the strength to carry on, or you haven't had the strength from Jump Street, so, everybody can get the pinchers. It's just, it's all, not all you can do, but it is one of your go-to moves, is putting forth this hard exterior, or this aloof exterior. Or some of you double down on how sensitive you are. You victimize yourself. You become a martyr of, not like traditionally the martyr. You leave that to your friend Pisces, okay? But you do have this like, oh, woe is me, like damsel in distress, like you oversell, or you overplay, or you double down in how the world is against you, or how your circumstances are not befitting of you, and it's hard out here for a Cancer like me. I'm not trying to mock you, but like some of you go the extra mile to make it, I'm just sensitive and people don't understand me and people take advantage of me. And that might be very well true, but you really exaggerate the experience, or you really just hammer down on that rhetoric over and over again. That's all you talk about in conversations with people. So it's going to go either way. Some of you pull back, and some of you, go into yourselves, that self-absorbed energy, or that self-focused, self-contained, let's say, self-contained energy. You don't let anybody in your shell. You don't let anybody in your inner circle, your inner bubble. And others of you, like the bubble, you throw it out. Oh my God, look, I'm hurting. It's going to go either way. But regardless of how you do it, it's a result, or it's a manifestation. It is resulting from whatever has pained you. Like with that strength card in reverse, there's a pain inside of you. Some of you, again, I think did I mention it? It might be a physical ailment, like you might be physically exhausted. You might be, maybe you've recently had an accident, or you have a chronic illness, or a chronic physical impairment of some type that kind of restricts you, or every once in a while it flares up and it just like leaves you debilitated and not able to take care of yourself, and then you get into this depression, something like that. So you're not open, you're not going on any type of social adventures, you're not wanting to go out and socialize, you just want to be by yourself, okay? And the other part of that I kind of mentioned a second ago is this Knight of Swords energy, air sign energy, so Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I don't sense that you're dealing with other people. I don't think, even though these are court cards, I'm not really feeling that anybody else is here right now. I really think I'm talking specifically to Cancers. Of course, you have other people in your lives, and of course you interact with people mostly on an everyday basis, but you're borrowing this energy, this very sharp, reactionary energy that the Knight of Swords can represent, right? So that's that crab pincher, get the hell out of my face before I, snip your fingertip off, is kind of what this is. And again, it's reactionary. It's a defense mechanism for many of you, where you've been hurt by something, and it could be that. It could be you're lacking the strength here in your starting position because you've been hurt by someone, or you've been hurt by circumstances, or the fallout of a certain situation. And so now some of you Cancers have turned into, the big bad man or the big bad woman on campus, like nobody is coming and that happens, okay? Water signs, all of you do that. Oh, you burned me, I'm gonna burn you. And it's like very melodramatic the way it happens, like it's very over the top. So I'm sorry to say it, and there's a ranking order into how intense this might be amongst the water signs. But let's say, for an example, you've recently broke up with someone, or someone has recently broke up with you, or there's just been a upheaval and a total dissolvement, or a dissolving of a relationship. Water signs are the types to do all the things that go into a romantic comedy movie or a romantic thriller movie, okay? Sending text messages all the time, You might do that, Cancer, slashing tires. Maybe that's more of a Scorpio thing, but you might borrow that for a second. Oh, Scorpio, let me borrow your anger and your ire, and I'm gonna go slash some tires, okay? Standing outside of windows with boom boxes above your head, playing Peter Gabriel. That might be Pisces moves. What else could you do? You could be burning love letters and photos. All three of you guys would do that. There's just this ritualistic, almost, sort of cleansing that you have to do after you've broken up with someone, or after a situation has disappointed you and hurt your feelings and made you feel like you did all this work for nothing, and like it's been thrown in your face or thrown out the window, and people have shown, or a situation has shown, that you weren't cared for, that you weren't valued, right? So there is this cleansing or this ritualistic thing that you have to do. Now that involves no longer letting people into your inner sanctum, okay? I'm shutting down the feelings. The feelings department is closed for the foreseeable. We're on furlough when it comes to our emotions. And then here come the pincher claws, okay? So that, like I said, in a relationship could be, I'm texting you, I never loved, or did you ever love me anyway? You said all the, you're like guilting the person. You're like, you're doing whatever with your bait and switch or whatever the hell you're doing. Or some of you might be being aggressive. I never loved you anyway, you son of a bitch. Whatever. So it could be that. I'm not feeling a lot of you are doing like the whole slashing of tires and like going after people's property or trying to attack anyone physically. I'm not really sensing that here for many of you, if any. But there is this aggression with the Knight of Swords, okay? The Knight of Swords is a very aggressive, very in your face energy. Like, I'm gonna make a statement with, and okay, here it is. And that's why I'm thinking more on the lines of text messages and phone calls and emails and heated discussions. Swords are about communication, how we talk, how we think, how we rationalize and communicate what we understand in the world, okay? So you could be going back and forth on text messages, Facebook Messenger, emails. You could be showing up to people's apartments and like cursing them out, and they're like, why are you even here? We broke up 3 weeks ago, like, leave me alone. You're like, I don't care that it was 3 weeks ago, you're gonna hear me, da-da-da. And it could just be something like that, volatile but not physically violent, okay? And I mean, look at the look at the artwork, yeah? For a knight, just a knight, this person is in charge of a tank. Okay, it's a warlike posture. It's very aggressive, but of course you're a Cancer. You're not a Scorpio, and Pisces would be aggressive to a point. So you're probably like the middle ground between Pisces and Cancer, or excuse me, and Scorpio. So where Scorpio would definitely, not definitely, but might have a more likelihood of coming to blows or getting in someone's face, like, you're gonna stop yourself. There is a limit to how much aggression and how much anger you're gonna expel or that you're gonna show to the person that hurts you. Except if you're in like that smaller group of Cancers where you're being like melodramatic and like you're milking the moment, No offense to anybody, but that's like literally what I'm feeling here. Is like there's a small group of Cancers that are just like making a show of this thing, and it's not to negate or downplay what you're feeling. It's just like, bro, the message was heard the first time. By the 5th email, I think she understands she hurt your feelings. You don't have to call her every day and leave a voicemail. She gets it. You don't have to show up at her job, wait in the parking lot until she goes out on a smoke break, and then go over and talk to her. She understands. She was a bitch. She didn't have to treat you that way. And anyway, so it's twofold. But again, it's a defense mechanism and that makes sense. If the Knight of Cups is that sensitive surfer dude, right? If we look at this again, like a dreamboat with a brain in his hand and a nice yellow banana hammock, okay? It's like a certain Don Juan, very lovey, very effusive, very, I just want to experience joy with you. I just want to love you, da-da-da, in his upright position. If he's in this position, he's off his game. Oops. He's off his game. He's not where he should be. And so to counteract that, again, as a protection, you send out the Knight of Swords. Oh, hell no. You hurt my dude, my friend, my cohort, because knights, they all are on the same pathway energetically. You've hurt the sensitive one of us knights. You made him feel like a piece of shit, or, you know, you took him for granted. So send out my boy, Knight of Swords, to let you know you were wrong. You were foul to hurt me. You were foul to hurt or take advantage of that part of me. Defense mechanism. And it's aggressive. But again, through the filter of sensitive and loving Cancer. Now, deeper into, this is just explaining, I think, a little more of what I was talking about. You've got the King of Cups in the corner. Now, we made a nice little roundabout here, okay? So the base of this whole thing, which was lost on me when I started with the Strength card, the base of this Cancer, King of Cups, again, water sign energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, is you are swimming in your emotions, which is not, you know, anything that's pretty par for the course, swimming in emotions, but like more so, okay? There isn't a day goes by that a water sign isn't emotional about something, okay? Now, let me see with the imagery, because you're like, look at it. Okay, so some of you, listen, I'm going to tell you this with love. Y'all need to stop it. Some of you, okay? There's a group out there, maybe a few of you, a handful of you, that you need to stop. You're spying on people, you're stalking people, like legit. Like you're legit harassing people. Why am I saying that? What's he got in his hands there, underneath the water? He's got binoculars in his hand. So you've been looking at people who you used to date, who have dumped you, who have left you for whatever reason. You're keeping tabs on them. Beyond the, you know, distant snooping, you know, oh, it's like 3 a.m. and I'm up. Let me just casually Google, or let me just casually look up my ex's Facebook from 2 months ago, or, you know, 2 years ago even. And then you do it once and that's it. Oh, they're posting pictures about going to Miami. Screw them. And you shut the app, or you put your phone down in a huff, and then you go to bed, and that's the end of it. Some of you are looking at their social media every day. Some of you are sending them text messages and emails, and like I said, voicemails every day. Bro, sis, whoever you are, stop it. It's not cool. It's not right. And that could be a sign of how you're out of control, or you're, because the thing about the Strength card, additionally, outside of having strength and fortitude and wanting to fight on for another day, it could be the misappropriation of that energy. You're fighting too hard for something that will not be. Some of you, okay? You haven't let go of what once was. It's over. Drop it. Strength card in reverse, dog with a bone, won't let it go. Okay, so that's one thing. The other part of the Strength card coming in reverse, I'm essentially going to say the same thing, but I'm going to give you a different way of thinking about it, is you're out of control. Because when you have strength, you have control. Think about it. Literally, think about it in terms of like lifting a heavy object. If you want to lift a weight, if you want to lift a heavy box, you have to have control over that object in your hand. You have to have control over your physical body. You have to be able to lift with your knees. You have to be able to hold the object with your upper body strength. You have to maintain control. When it's in the reverse, strength in reverse, you lack control. You're indulging in your impulses. You're indulging in not so great decision making, okay? So some of you need to leave that person alone. Let them go. Okay, let them go. Ay, Dios mío, my friends. Now, what else? Because, and the other, just to give you the other thing that they want me to correlate visually. So he has the binoculars in his hands, and then look at his eye line. He's peeping over the top of the waves. the top of the waterline. He's peeking over. Are you peeking over hedges? Are you like literally looking in somebody's house? Are you watching them from afar? Like, what are you doing? Stop, bro. Don't do that. That's not right. Yikes. All right, so we've got the peeping Tom element. And God forbid if you're doing a peeping Tom thing. That's illegal. Don't do that. Oh my God. I mean, and stalking is illegal too, so don't fucking cut it out. Anything else? I think all Cancers are going to share this, if not all of you, fuck it, all of you are going to share this, is being so adrift in what you feel. And it doesn't have to be, okay, I've talked a lot about a romantic relationship, and I've talked a lot about, having to let that go, or feeling that people have abandoned you from a romantic sense. This can apply to family, friends, okay, business partners. This can apply to, I think I said in the beginning, like giving up on your own dreams or giving up on promises and quote unquote relationship that you have with yourself, because some of you are here on that spiritual journey. Some of you are here working on your metaphysical experience and connecting the dots between what you experience here in the 3D world here on Earth and what you might experience later in life once or some of you might think or believe in past lives. There's something here for everybody, basically. But the point of the matter is, some of you are struggling with that disconnect from yourself, disconnect from your friends, disconnect from your family, and of course, disconnect from lovers and past partners and all that good stuff. And so you're adrift, like, and I'm using adrift, but look how he's seated. He's seated underwater. I still feel adrift applies, but the visual isn't giving me that. So, but this whole adrift, like, okay, that applies. Okay, thank you. He might be seated in the ocean there, but we can't tell where land is. Where is dry land? Maybe he's like on the high point of some mound of earth or some mound of, I don't know what you call the ground when it's underwater, whatever. It doesn't mean that he's like 20 feet from the shore. We don't know that, So you're just surrounded and adrift by all these emotions coming from a loss of some type, feeling disconnected from people or a particular person or a certain type of relationship and connection with other people. And you're not literally, I don't think, quite figuratively, you're drowning in it. Your perspective is off. And that is kind of what water signs do when they are disappointed, when they have been hurt, when they have been rejected. I get it. I totally get it. I totally get it. But I don't know how you're going to shake this. You need to shake it. I don't know how you're going to shake it, but you need to shake it. Okay? So that's all kind of this little contained corner. And remember, we've talked a lot about you going inside of your shell, protecting yourself. This might all be something you're experiencing for some of you, not a lot of you, but some of you might be experiencing this and you're not saying a single word about it to anybody. You may have broken up with that person, or you may have been dumped by that person, and your friends are like, "You're over him, right?" And you're like, "Yeah, I'm over him, girl. I'm over it. We're finished. It's fine." And you're telling everybody you're done, but you went and got a burner phone, or you're doing all kinds of crazy shit, on the low, like not in secret. This is very insular, this experience, okay? Not a lot of people are aware of this except for you and maybe the person that you're stalking or the person that you're keeping tabs on. If you're not stalking actively, you're looking way too much at this person, forget it. Let them go, okay, for that group. What else is going on? What's out here? Okay, well, what's out here? Hello. The law is out here. Justice, okay? Major Arcana card for a Libra, so you might have a Libra in your life. You might be dealing with a Libra. Your ex might be a Libra for some of you, but beyond that, the law is here, okay? In the name, we can see what this means. Be careful, guys. Again, stalking and harassing people, that's against the law. Don't do it. If you're just starting or you're considering showing up to somebody's job after, you guys haven't spoken for a few months, don't do that shit. You better stay your ass at home. I'm telling you, for not all of you, obviously, but there is a certain vein or a certain energy here where you're going too far and someone will be pushed to get the authorities involved. And that's not a good look, Bo. I said this yesterday, bro, that's not a good look. It's just not. Because the repercussions are very real. All right? Now, if it's not law, if it's not, someone comes to your door to like issue a restraining order against you, or you get called into court because someone suspects you're the one that bust out their windows. I bust the windows out your car, right? Oh my God. Anyway, you might have to show up in court. Your Honor, my ex-boyfriend is crazy. He busts the windows out my car. He slashed my tires. He put sugar in my tank. And, male cancer, you're just, or female cancer, or whoever, you're in the courtroom going, I plead the fifth. And that's not even how that shit works. You're not testifying, so you can't plead that. So you kind of have to own up to, or, you know what I mean? So if it's not, let me go ahead and drop it for a second because I want to get away from that. If you're not going to court, if you're not dealing with police or getting restraining orders put on you, and I have not said this enough at all, possibly not at all. This is a general reading, guys. Even though you're the Cancer, even though you're the water sign, this could be what you're experiencing. Someone could be stalking you. I should have said that way earlier. Please don't think that the onus is completely on you. You're smart. You're an adult. At this point, I shouldn't have to tell you to flip the story if you are the one who's being like harassed. If you're the one who's just like, I'm fine with the breakup. They're the one that has the issue. The Libra is the one that's chasing me down. Fine. Let that be it. I apologize for not stating that earlier. I've been like, Cancer. You're doing your thing. Anyway, so regardless of the law, outside of law and all that good stuff, again, major arcana card. So we're talking about things that are influenced, or not influenced, but are sort of coming into our lives to kind of show us something, nudge us a certain way, remind us of something, challenge us in a certain way. Those are usually the ways that the arcanas come. I'm here to remind you, I'm here to influence you, I'm here to protect you, keep you away from something, etc., etc., etc. So you're tasked here, and I'm using this word more often on my channel, and I don't want to because I don't necessarily feel comfortable with using it. But some of you, this is an issue of karma. Now, I'm a card, but I think for someone out there, you have this conception of karma being a just act, or being based on what is just, what is fair, what is right. And some of you feel karma is not on your side, or is not coming up in your favor, or is just not doing what it's supposed to do. Now, again, I don't want to use the word karma because it's not my expertise. It's not what I'm working on in my development right now, okay? I have a broad understanding of it, and I have a broad application of it in my own work, okay? So, but I feel that some people feel that karma is you do bad things happen to you. You do good things, and then good things happen to you. And the problem with that is good and bad are very subjective things, okay? This is just an arbitrary example. Walking into a convenience store, there's a homeless person outside. Hey man, could you spare me $1 or $2? I'm so hungry. I'm so hungry. Could you just spare me $1? So some people in this world think giving that person the money directly is a bad thing. Other people think giving that person the money is a good thing. Other people think instead of giving them money, I'll go inside, I'll purchase food for this person and then give them the food. Other people think interacting with the homeless person is just wrong in general. That's 4 different perceptions of what is good or bad in relation to how to interact with another human being. So when we say, oh, karma good, when you do good, you get good, and when you do bad, you get bad. Based on whose perception? That's the problem that I'm having to address with someone who thinks karma, aka justice, or karma hand in hand with justice is not on their side or is on their side. That's colored information. That's a biased perspective. I would encourage you to let that shit go, or to reframe it in some type of way, or think differently about it. Okay. What else? Justice also is showing there is a choice coming up, or there has been a choice. Okay. Obviously, this is that lawful choice or that lawful decision. Whatever the cops decide or whatever the judge decides, that's going to be the end all be all to a situation, right? In other cases, this justice is here to make a judgment call, or you're encouraged to make a judgment call, or someone has made a judgment call for you and you must accept the results. There's this lack of acceptance for this second group, because when it comes to the law, I hope you accept the judgment. Real quick before we move on to that. If the police say stay away, there's a restraining order, stay away. If the judge says, if you don't do this, I'm going to lock you up, I'm going to put you're on probation, or you're paying a fine or whatever, pay the shit. Listen to these people. Listen to the systems at play. Do not violate beyond being sentenced or being fined or being restricted from something, okay? Now, to move back on to what I was saying, there is a judgment coming, or how can I say it? There's a judgment call that going forward, I think you're being called upon. Thank you. Here we go. You're being called upon, Cancer, in your own life to make a judgment call. It's kind of not an answer, but perhaps an antidote. There's a slight not a slight discrepancy, but a slight difference in that. An answer is kind of straightforward. An antidote, I don't know if that's necessarily going to come across, but I feel that this judgment call that you can make or have to make, or you adhere to if it's made for you, is the antidote to that strength card in reverse. Okay? What do I mean? An antidote, like an answer to me is very straightforward. Yes or no. It's like usually very black and white. I feel an antidote requires some acclimation time. Thank you. That's the difference. The timing of this. In terms of justice being an antidote, again, keeping with this whole crazy stalker, no offense to use the word crazy, but very strange stalker situation that might be happening for some of you. If you are told you must stay away from this person, or they're told to stay away from you, whatever, adhering to that judgment call is the antidote. Being forced to essentially go against what you desire, which is to further contact with this person, to persist in trying to persuade them or pursue them romantically. And it doesn't have to be romantic, this whole stalking thing. You could be stalking like a relative, like, oh, you owe me money, for whatever reason, you persist in wanting a connection with a person. The judgment call that says, no, go to your corner, leave them alone, you can't have contact with them. Living with that hard decision, that unjust, quote unquote, unjust or unfair karma, whatever, bad karma, however you conceptualize it, or whoever conceptualize it, living with that as a reality is the antidote to this giving up of your strength. If I no longer funnel my energy into trying to force myself on a person, or force them into a conversation, or force them into some type of interaction, then what do? Your energy must be refunneled somewhere else. I hope that makes sense to you. Yeah, son of a bitch. Sorry. Sorry. I get excited because I'm talking, I'm not here. I'm tapping. I know the approximate location of cards on the table, but I'm not looking here. Then I look down. 2 of Wands. What did I just say? If you can't put your energy in that particular direction, towards that person, towards that situation anymore, for whatever reason, you're stopped from it, you're prevented from it, you're restricted, you have to go somewhere else. 2 of Wands. And that might literally be what some of you have to do. Wands does indicate some type of physical movement, some type of dynamic change in direction. So some of you, I don't know whose life this is, what fucking movie you're living, but some of you might, based on your rejection from a past partner, rejection from family members, you might have to get up and move. Leave your home, leave your town, leave your city, leave your state, leave your country. I don't know why, but that might be a way to go. And the presence of the 2 indicates a choice, left or right, up or down, backwards or forwards, whatever. You have options before you, Cancer. You might not necessarily like them, because I mean, it looks kind of daunting. You know, both of these guys towards the bottom have taken their own pathways to escape that oversized zombie, but you know, one of them took the left path, one of them took the right path, but you know, the circumstances might be a bit of a panic or a bit of a rush. You know, if you're running for your life away from this crazed zombie, and you take the left path while you're running, you're like, oh my God, I hope, you know, like there's a panic, like, I hope this is the correct path for me. I hope I don't get to the end here of this street and it's a dead end and then I have to turn back around and face the zombie again. Or I hope, you know, the guy, and then the guy who took the right path is like, oh, I hope, you know, this leads somewhere. And then like, I hope you understand what I'm saying. Like, as you make this new choice, this new move in your life down whatever road you're choosing, which you need to, I feel that there's a need here. Some of you need that like cold turkey, you know, and again, okay, there it is. Thank you. Leaving the home, leaving the place that you are used to. Maybe you are living in the apartment that you used to share with your boyfriend or girlfriend. Getting out of there will clear your head, will clear all this gunk that you have backed up inside of yourself emotionally. Okay, emotionally. You'll be able to let it go. But you have to make a drastic, perhaps panicked or last minute decision. You know, under pressure, I need to find a new place to live. You find a place, you move within a week, and your family or your friends are like, what? You don't live there anymore? And you're like, no, it was unhealthy for me to continue living there. I have to leave. I have to go. And that's also backed up with the Knight of Swords right across, because the Knight of Swords is quick action. Yeah, let's move, let's go. Your outcome, Cancer, interestingly, is the Ace of Cups. And I actually, not even interestingly, I get it. Look at this, the facial expression of that woman. I mean, the cups in this deck are skulls, okay, or heads. So that's why we have this very interesting illustration. But look at the serenity on her face, the peace of mind, no pun intended, as her brain is exposed. But seriously, content, calm, peaceful, serene, no, not much, I'm not trying to say no cares in the world, but certainly there's an alleviated feeling, a sense of relief in that facial expression. So once we adhered to whatever judgment call is made, either by karma or a law officer or a judge, or you wake the hell up and you say, oh my God, I'm acting kind of crazy out here in these streets. I need to get away from this person, or I need to get away from this environment. I'm not being healthy towards myself. Whatever judgment call is made, once you adhere to it and you move on, I'm not saying all of you are moving, but you might just need to change your behavior. If it's not literally leave the place that you live, Change your behavior. Go outside, take a damn walk, get some sun on your face. Stop living inside like, a recluse, okay? It changes your whole demeanor. Ace of Cups. So a new opportunity towards something, a new opportunity towards something that is fulfilling, that makes you happy, that puts a smile on your face, a sigh of relief or whatever on your face, and an invitation towards happiness again, because I feel for a while, a lot of you Cancers have struggled to be happy because you've been so severely hurt. Makes sense. Now, I warned a little bit in the beginning about this. Some of you think this is the end-all be-all of your life. Literally. It's not. It's not. This is what life is. Ebbs and flows. We have good times. We have bad times. We have highs and we have low lows. It's a wave, my friends. It's a wave. It comes and it goes. So let this go so that the goodness can come in again. Ace of Cups. All right. That's the chance at goodness again. That's the chance at happiness. In some cases, it might be a new relationship. You move towns, or you give up on your ex, you let them go finally, and maybe you start dating again, and then you meet someone new, or you're inspired to at least date again. Maybe you're not meeting the one or someone that you want to date long term, but at least your mind and your heart is no longer fixated on someone from your past. Again, it doesn't have to be romantic. It could be, I'm not sensing a rekindling with the same person, but you may have fallen out with one of your friends. And maybe that friendship is totally done and dusted maybe. But that allows you to reconnect with people that you may have not prioritized or not spent as much time with over the past couple of months or years because you were so fixated on that one friend. So now you go back and you realize, oh, I have other people in my life that I enjoy, and they enjoy me too. Why was I so hung up on this one person? My BFF, that whole shtick. So there's this hope again that you can have, but you must adhere to and make some changes back here. You must adhere to judgment calls that either you make or someone makes in your steed, and then you have to choose how you move forward. All right. Oh God, this makes sense. Your overall energy is the Four of Hazards, aka the Four of Pentacles or coins in this deck. The pentacles are called hazards. So look at this guy. This was you. I feel this energy will be passing for you. I really don't think you're going to stay here much longer, but look at this guy. Plugging in his ears. He's hunkered down in this convenience store, and that little bubble there is an indication of what's going on the outside. There are people outside, Cancer, your home, outside of your job, or outside of the people that you know that want your attention, that want to have relationships with you, that want to get to know you, all that good stuff. And you're just like inside barricading. Thank you. You're barricading yourself. You're preventing this potentiality of connection, of other social encounters, because of what? Because you're afraid? Some of you, okay? Because again, what's the theme of this deck? The zombie apocalypse. This guy doesn't want to open up those doors because he's afraid that zombies will get in. Or he doesn't want to open up those doors maybe because he's guilty. Maybe, there were people already in here and this guy was selfish and he was just like, you know what? This is a lot of supplies. There are 3 other people in here. I'm going to kill them all. I'm just trying to illustrate to you the reasons why someone might be afraid to interact with new people or other people. Again, going back to this whole goddamn stalking thing. If you have been not acting correctly or lawfully, you might be a little embarrassed or afraid to admit, your friends might ask you, so, are you finally over him? Are you finally over her? And you go, yeah. And they're like, what? Tell me what's going on. Well, I was kind of stalking him and I kind of got hit with a restraining order. And your friends are like, oh, what? That would be something that you might feel a little ashamed of, a little afraid to admit. Okay. Oh, Lord have mercy. What? Anything else? The flip side of that could be there are some of you that are totally resistant to letting go. The Four of Hazards or the Four of Pentacles can talk about not wanting to release, okay? And other times it means not wanting people to, or things to come in, and then also not wanting to release. So some of you are really stuck on this, whatever you've lost, whoever you've lost, you know, whatever connection you used to have with a person, you're just like, nah, dog with a bone, I'm gonna get it. It's an overall energy, so it's not meant to illustrate, it's not meant to do anything other than to give us the coloring or the shading of this whole situation. And in that case where you don't want to let it go, bro, sis, I'm telling you, let it go. Let it go. I've never seen Frozen, but I know that song is popular, and I'm sure most of you have heard it. Go play that shit. Listen to it. All right? Let it go. Let it go. Okay? Do it. Cancer, that is your reading for June. My God. If you liked it, if you found something that resonated here that you connected with and you think you might want to like the video, please do. If you want to leave a comment on how it resonated with you, please do that as well. If you want to share my video, let other people know what's going on, that maybe I've articulated something here that could be explained and you could just show it to your friends. Here's what I've been doing. This random person on YouTube kind of connected with me. If you want to share that with your friends, that would be amazing. And of course, if you have not subscribed already and you think you might want to subscribe, please hit that subscribe button, and also make sure you hit the notification bell so you know when I upload, okay? Cancer, I will be back soon for you 2 times. I'm going to give you a mid-June message, and I'm also going to give you your birthday message at the end of June. I believe the first day of Cancer is the 21st or the 22nd. So look for your birthday message on either of those days, okay? And then, of course, after that, I'll be back with your July message. So you guys got 3 things coming up pretty soon. So I hope to see you then. All right, Cancer. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really, really do appreciate it. Take care. Bye.